Hello friends and welcome inside to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you, and boy are you in for a treat today because we got a special episode. We're calling it the LCS Award Show because the spring and summer split are behind us in 2018, which means it's time to hand out some awards and honors to players, teams, and anything else you can think of.
Okay. And don't worry if you're just like my mom and sister and all you like about watching the award shows is the red carpet to see all the fashion and things like that. I gotta let you know, there's no red carpet for this event, but we didn't forget about it. We've remembered, and we're gonna give that red carpet award out to the 100 Thieves. Congratulations. A lot of swag out there, a lot of Supreme clothing. You're getting our Best Dressed Award.
Yeah, Mark loves the baseball jerseys for 100 Thieves. I do not. So we immediately revoke that award and throw it in the dumpster. But let's take a look at what our awards are going to be in this show. We got 6 different categories that we'll be going through here today. You got Best Play of the Year, Best Player of the Year, Outstanding Script Writing. Riot Games is nominated in all 3 categories.
That sounds smart.
They write great scripts. Best Player in a Supporting Role, aka Best Support Player. Outstanding Comedy Short.
Oh boy, that's the whole NALCS right there.
Oh, that's not a short, it's a feature film that is the NALCS. And Outstanding Dramatic Video Series. And again, this is from the NA and EU LCS. No LCK, no LPL, just the Western's greatest regions that we're counting down through today.
Yeah, this is Western Region's greatest hits right here. And we're going to list off them and pick who is the winners and who's going to be getting these very prestigious awards.
Yeah, there's no actual hardware, but they get the pride of knowing that they did well. And throughout the show, we've got 3 Play of the Year nominees that we'll be showing for you. Sure you remember them from throughout the split, and we're going to get things rolling with the very first one, which is Nisqy on a little bit of Cassiopeia action. This comes from the spring split 3rd place match where he got insanely fed and completely destroyed Vitality.
There is a 5-man group up, the Fnatic Brush, typically known as the Fnatic Brush. Here goes Vitality.
Oh, they're going to block him out. Nisqy potentially now in trouble, going to try to land the ult. Flashes in the middle of the team, now looking to fire back. The Tom Kent's there to save the day. Nisqy on the run, but he gets one.
Look at him go, Nisqy!
Looking for the follow-up. Can he make it out? The stun goes down. It will get traded back. Vitality spent everything on a single kill.
1 versus 5, and Nisqy gets 2 kills.
I gotta say, it's not very often that you flash in 1v5 and it actually works out in your favor.
It's incredible because I can just look at that and I can think back to my own solo queue games going like, look, that guy is way too many levels above you. You can't fight him. Let's just all group together and then we'll fight him. Oh wait, that plan's not gonna work. He's actually way too powerful. That was in some insane mechanical skill there on the Cassiopeia from Nisqy.
And he was insanely fed, and he did all that without boots because, you know, there's reasons for that. But let's get to the actual first category. We'll go over the other 2 best plays of the year later on throughout the show. But the first award is going to Comedy Short. And the nominees are, some familiar faces in the memery department. These are videos that teams have produced throughout the split. These aren't Riot produced. The first nominee is, of course, the meme team themselves. It's Cloud9 with Jacket Law, which was the Reaper doll kind of show up where Jack is all about the Infinity Gauntlet because Cloud9 goes into the Gauntlet. Second nominee is Vitality right up before the LCS Summer Split. It was them hyping up that their team doesn't care about anything and they're badasses. And the third nominee goes to Echo Fox's roster announcement when Smoothie joined the club. They weren't the first team to bring smoothies into a Smoothie roster announcement, but still a funny video.
No, certainly still a good enjoyment there, a lot of chuckles, but I think, hey, you got to think about, if you're thinking memes and you're thinking funny stuff, it's always going to be Cloud9, especially with Sneaky on that roster still. And of course, Jack loves himself some memes, whether Cloud9 is winning or losing. And now, hey, they're winning lots, and that means lots of good memes pumping out of the Cloud9 factory.
It's hard to go against Cloud9 when it comes to comedy shorts and memery, and that's why they're taking home the LCS award for comedy short, for Jacket Law specifically. There's a few videos you could have picked from, but it made fun of their own video with the Reaper doll not working because they lost in LCS finals, and then basically Jack's bragging how he's got 3 teams through the gauntlet run in the past. They got cheesy sound effects, they got Jack saying funny things, and people hated this guy at the start of the year, but when you pump out videos like this, how can you hate him? You can't.
You can't. Jack is a
He's
nice...
grabbing things.
Jack is one of the wonderful big fathers of esports here, and he is a fantastic little mentor figure here for the members of Cloud9. Of course, pumping out some awesome content like this for all of us here makes it pretty fun to watch.
And quote of the video goes to Jack saying, "I have 45 years experience being alive." That's good experience to have. 45
That's a
years.
lot more than a lot of other people involved with League of Legends or esports. So hey, tip of the cap on that one.
That's definitely something to be putting on your resume. Next award we're looking at is a big one. It is the Player of the Year. So this is including spring and the summer splits in NA and EU. And there were 2 players, only 2, that we deemed worthy of nominations in this category, one from each region. Of course, we're talking about the likes of Caps and Doublelift, the 2 MVPs from 2018 summer. Obviously, their most recent splits were incredibly dominant, but even in spring, both these guys really put on a show and far and away the best carries in their respective regions.
When we were dividing these awards up and picking who was going to get what and when was it going to be, it was absolutely this award had to have been Doublelift or Caps. There was no other acceptable answer here for these 2. They have just been so phenomenal this year, and especially when you're considering, when you look at the likes of Doublelift, absolutely has been the win condition for Team Liquid, has been that driving motivational force for them to get to where they are right now. A fantastic year. And then, of course, Caps on the other side. We had been left after the Worlds in 2017, wanting more from him, wanting to see some improvement, and hey, boy, did we ever see that this year. Really stepped up, and oh man, I think he can put his name in that top 5 mid laners heading to Worlds this year.
It was a very close race. The voters were almost split 50-50 on this one, but we ended up giving the award to the likes of Caps on Fnatic in that mid lane, the best in the West. And I mean, if you're including MSI, which we're not, because this is only LCS, but he did even perform internationally. And just the fact that even with Reckless out of the lineup in summer is really when he got to showcase what an absolute beast he is in the mid lane. And even jumping back to spring when Reckless had his incredible split, Caps was still fantastic and the best mid laner in EU. But Reckless stole a lot of the spotlight from him. In summer, it was all about him, and me oh my did this guy deliver.
Well, you're talking about it, exactly that. It was the big, all the attention here in summer for Fnatic was on the fact that Reckless was benching himself and that you were running this double top laner rotation here in the bottom lane with Bwipo and Soaz. But the interesting thing here is, no, that was not the story. The story was the performance that Caps was constantly dishing out from the mid lane, and it didn't matter if it was on Zoe, if it was on LeBlanc, or if it was even on something like a Wukong. He was getting it done no matter the cost here. Fnatic have really found themselves another major star here. Caps taking this award for sure.
It's always impressive when a guy can pop off on a handful of champions, but Caps can pop off on 16 handful of champions. The Vayne mid, the Wukong you mentioned, his champion pool is endless, and it's definitely an exciting thing to see because he's still so young in his esports career. He was criticized early on for, being too overaggressive, getting caught out. He has fixed up a lot of the issues that he has, and now you've got an MVP in Europe, so congratulations to Caps for our Player of the Year honors. Coming up after the break, Riot Games has some outstanding script writing, but for what storyline do they get that award for? And we're looking at the forgotten heroes on the Rift, the supporting actors. Welcome back to League on Lock. Eric and Mark here with you guys today, counting down the 2018 LCS Awards, which is us giving, a shout out to the outstanding performances and moments from the 2018 EU and NA LCS in spring and summer, the full calendar year. One of the big categories we're looking at is Play of the Year. We got 3 nominees that are up for the award. We already went through one of them earlier on. Time to take a look at the second one, which is Some Days Jax for 100 Thieves against Clutch Gaming, keeping the game alive for the man who really was the second fiddle to the MVP of Doublelift. But this was him single-handedly winning a game for 100 Thieves.
They almost get the kill. That's almost Lyra going down. That's going to be Ryu traded back easily. That's one picked up. The respawn's coming in pretty soon. Cody sent in 15 seconds. Here comes the stun. Oh, Someday is freaking huge. 3 kills picked up, making a 4th easily. Someday is the savior of 100 Thieves.
Someday keeps 100 Thieves alive in the game. The flash counter-strike there, catching 4 members from Clutch.
So I believe he finished that game 12-0-3 on the Jacks. He doesn't make that play. They probably lose the game. And with how some of his teammates were playing in that game, that is the purest definition of a 1v9 that I think we've seen this year.
I'm still just in utter disbelief
1v9.
watching it for the 100th time here, seeing this play happen. Incredible type of just mastery on this champion and knowing what he needs to do in that exact moment to prolong the game, to give them any type of chance to win. Someday coming up monster huge. 400 Thieves there. He was quite the engine that drove them this year. And I think that, hey, if they're going to get anything done at Worlds, it's going to have to come on the back of this guy.
It's an honor seeing this man play carry champions. But let's hand out the next award. We got one more play of the year that we'll get to a little bit later before we reveal our winner for the 2018 LCSs. But the next award we're looking at is script writing, outstanding script writing to be exact. And of course, all 3 nominees here are at the hands of Riot Games because they are the puppeteers for the script throughout the entire NA and EU LCS. But there's a couple of different fantastic storylines that we saw play out in 2018. First of which, of course, was the super team of TSM and their demise. They let go of Doublelift, and well, what does he do? He has the best year he's ever had in 2018, and TSM didn't even make Worlds.
Yeah, TSM said, hey, we're going to assemble our super team, not really including you on this one, Doublelift. And Doublelift says, that's fine. I'm gonna go call up my buddy Steve and say, hey, how much cash do you have? Let's put together our own little super team here. Worked out pretty darn okay for Doublelift in that one.
Pretty good for them. Then, of course, Fnatic and their rise back to the top with Whippo in the bottom lane, Reckless benching himself, and the story of Cloud9 and their journey from last place all the way to qualifying for Worlds. 3 very different and very interesting storylines that Riot went through. The Fnatic one in particular, seeing your star of the franchise, the face of the, not even just the franchise, of the entire league, voluntarily bench himself, and then your team still performs and finishes first in the regular season and the playoff run for the LCS. That's a pretty darn good storyline. But the LCS has to go to Cloud9 and what Riot Games did with their script. I'm sure when Jack and Reaper read this initially, they were like, I don't know about this, man. Benching all of our most popular guys on the team seems like a bit of a risky move. Obviously, the absolutely insane backlash that they got, especially on this video and how they announced it. We all know how C9 started this split. 2-6, Mark.
Absolutely. And hey, at that point, it was an interview then with Reaper, and he was saying that he was thinking about Worlds still. And at that point, I called him out. I said, you're outrageous, man. You're at like 10th place here.
You lost faith.
How are you claiming to be thinking about Worlds here? But then the 200 IQ decision comes through, and we start to see it finally work out, to see these pairings that they've been thinking of work out here. And
it took a while to find the right combo.
Did it ever take a while? But when they found it, oh man, this has been something spicy and special to watch in the NALCS. This 7-man roster, the idea of pairing up a jungler and a mid laner to have that type of identity through those 2 players and then to play around it, fantastic idea and perfectly executed by the players on Cloud9. Some great mindsets from them to be able to weather this storm and really push through again. Fantastic stuff from Cloud9.
And the great thing about script writing and telling a good story is you obviously have to have some downfalls and hurdles you have to get over. The beautiful thing about this story is it would be too perfect and too easy if they got to those finals after taking down TSM in a best of 5 and then just outright winning against Liquid. That's too easy a journey, and that doesn't make the story full circle enough. You gotta get swept by Team Liquid in convincing fashion, and not only that, but then have the community call out Reaper again for saying, horrible drafts, terrible putting his guys on here, not good swapping of the roster after he already proved he knew what he was doing to get them to the finals. He gets questioned again, and then they rematch with TSM in that gauntlet run. They bust out the Hecarim top, completely dumpster TSM with it, and faith is restored in Reaper and Cloud9, and they're back to Worlds.
And not only do you get the full stories, of course, of the likes of the Swole Bros with Svenskeren and Golden Glue
multiple
getting
characters.
everything done. You, of course, then how can you forget about Mr. Small Boy himself, Jensen in the mid lane, finally getting a series victory against Team Solo Mid. Remember, he was subbed out the last time for Golden Glue, so it doesn't count that series. This is the first time, gets the advantage and beats longtime rival Bjergsen. Jensen taking down TSM. Oh man, there were so many great scripted stories here for C9. Riot did a really great job with their season.
Yeah, that's the beauty. This arc isn't just from 2018 summer or spring. It goes back 3 years to when Jensen was first playing against Bjergsen. So kudos to Riot. It really was a masterpiece that they put together. Let's move on to the next award, which are the Forgotten Heroes, the Forgotten Players when it comes to competitive League of Legends. Of course, we're talking about supports. The supporting characters in these stories. Whenever there's a star AD carry, you forget about the support that's there with him in lane, babysitting him, making sure he's doing okay. 3 standout performers from this year, 3 nominees. You got Afromu for 100 Thieves. Of course, MVP of the spring split. Ole, the man who's been with Doublelift the entire year now, and Hillisang, who has played with multiple 80 carries. Or not just 80 carries, awesome dude carries, as Papa Smithy coined. But there's only one that stands above them all, and it's got to be Afromu, because 100 Thieves, their first split in the LCS, he brings them to the finals and then 2 Worlds in summer. Obviously, he is the captain, leader of this squad. His stats don't do it justice for what he does for this team. Yes, there are times where he got caught out and looked like he was inting a little bit, but what he does in and out of game for this team is immeasurable.
Yeah, this was certainly the only guy for me that could beat out my boy Norskeren from getting this award.
He wasn't nominated.
Yeah,
just missed the cut.
He didn't even need to be nominated. He's my boy. He gets
Okay.
instant access to these awards.
Your boy award goes to Norskeren.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, the support award has to go to Afromu. As someone who plays ADC, you know what? Usually we're the boss when it comes to everything going on in the bottom lane. I'm telling my support what to do. You're there for the ride. Afromu, different story. That is the boss in the bot lane. He's the one telling you what to do. He's making the calls. He's making the plays. Afromu is the guy for 100 Thieves there down in that bottom side of the map, and absolutely got it done this year, really helping that new squad find its way to some success here in the NALCS, and hey, they're going to Worlds.
One of the best leaders on the Rift. Coming up after the break, we'll hand out the Play of the Year honors, and we're taking a look at the best dramatic video series of 2018. What's up, everybody? Eric and Mark here on League Unlocked, looking at the 2018 LCS Awards, counting down the greatest moments from the spring and summer splits in NA and EU, and we're talking the best play of the year. We already went through 2 of them. It's time to go through our final nominee for the award, and it comes from H2K versus Giants. Sheriff doing his best to keep H2K's hopes and dreams alive in this game on the Xayah. You got a lot to believe in this rookie.
They're using the Tarek ultimate. They got 2.5 seconds to cut through the base, and it looks like it may just be enough time, but suddenly the fight is starting to break out. They're looking for a chance to bring this one back. Betsy's in the middle of everybody, and he's not going to get taken down quite yet. Sheriff wants to redeem himself. Selfie pushing in. Ruin going to get down and straighted. Targamas wants to bring it home. I don't know if he can. Are you kidding me? Who is going to end the game? Targamas wants to bring it in. Ruin goes down. What is this? Oh my God, H2K, that is beautiful.
Now, Sheriff's hype in summer was very much underwhelming compared to spring, but there you have it. That's our 3 plays of the year nominees. We'll give you the winner someday, Niski or Sheriff, in just a minute. But first, we got one more award to hand out. We're talking about Best Dramatic Series in 2018. These are the behind-the-scenes videos that most teams output these days to varying degrees of quality. One of the OG teams that did it is one of our nominees. Of course, it's Team Solo Mid. When they're not busy making Fortnite videos, they do still film TSM Legends, Mark.
Really?
I
don't know. It's kind of crazy to think TSM not going to Worlds, and all I'm going to have to watch for Team Solo Mid is just Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't watch Fortnite. No way that's happening. Anyways.
That's all you're going to get.
The important thing here is with this dramatic series, you're going to talk about Team Solo Mid's Legends has, of course, been a mainstay for a lot of people with the League of Legends scene, watching that one, learning about it, seeing all the little bit of ups and downs sometimes, and waiting for the content droughts to be over when the team is struggling. But now we have other things going on. You got Squad from Team Liquid, you got the Heist with 100 Thieves, and even, hey, teams like FlyQuest and Clutch Gaming are trying to pump out their own content too.
They're trying, bless their little hearts. They're trying their very best. Yeah, the other nominees are the Heist and the Squad. Not the Squad, just Squad. No the. Just Squad out of Team Liquid. TSM Legends had a whole lot of drama this year, but overall, I think the quality was just not as high as what we saw in Squad, and that's why they are taking home the award for Best Dramatic Series. The Heist, I loved what they did in spring. The editing was on point, but in summer, I feel like the overall quality and content fell off a little bit. Their episodes weren't as consistent, and on the Squad, I said the again. Squad. Liquid Squad. Just the editing that they put forth was really fantastic. It felt different than any of these other videos that they do. The behind the scenes characters that they covered, kind of the management teams all had their own episodes, and how they implemented the game highlights was really unique to me.
Yeah, I really felt that you got a great sense of everything that was going on with Team Liquid for that period of time that was showcased in whatever episode of Squad that you were watching at the time. And I think that you really do have to tip your cap and give the award here to Team Liquid for this series. This certainly has been a step up in their video production department. We have seen them have previously some reasonably good series have come out from them before, and some good productions, but I think that this absolutely takes the cake. And when you have a team that's as interesting as Team Liquid and has been as successful as Team Liquid has been this year, a lot of people are going to want to watch and see what's going on behind the scenes, kind of get to know, the family that is Team Liquid right now very well. And hey, if you want to know, watch the Squad.
So congratulations, Liquid. Not only did you win back-to-back LCS splits, but really, even more importantly, you won the LCSE for Outstanding Dramatic Series. So congratulations. I would rather have that. We got one award left, the Best Play of the Year. You've seen all three plays, and the winner is Someday on that Jax for 100 Thieves. They're losing this game 100% if he doesn't make this play, and this is just impressive. No one expects it, and he predicts where the Ezreal's going to be going. So 4-man Counter-Strike to secure the win for them. Amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's kind of sad if you're H2K to figure out to have such a bad year and have such a nice play and still not come away with anything. I can't actually decide who's had a worse year. Is it TSM not reaching their expectations, or is it H2K just having bad performances and no expectations? But it doesn't matter, because none of those guys on those teams got our play of the year, and absolutely Someday and 100 Thieves deserves it with an incredible Jax play.
The Heist doesn't take home the Dramatic Series Award, but have no fear, because Someday does take home Play of the Year, and I still think that is the truest definition of 1v9 that we saw in 2018. That's all the time. The LCSs are done. Mark and I here, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.